Do you think it's ever a good idea to lie, or is it always bad to lie?
Man, just what I've learned as a man. Man, it's better to just tell the truth. Tell the truth, deal with it straight on. You ain't gotta always be raw with it. You can say it kindly. You can put a softer edge on it. But one thing I've learned in this thing called life, man, I rather the cold, bold truth than a nice, warm, fuzzy lie. You can't deal with it when it's some bull crap. I need the real. And so that's where I'm at this point in my life, man. I just deal with the real.
What's the risk for you with lying? Like, what is wrong with a white lie?
Here's the thing I've learned about when you're a liar. People go lie to you. When you a thief, your stuff go get stole. When you a player, you go get played upon. Karma comes back. So those lies that we tell, that we think are little bitty white lies, man, they wind up coming back. What don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse.
Was this a struggle for you? Like, was it a process for you, or were you always just truthful? Because I feel like it's hard for most people, especially white lies. It's hard for people to bring themselves to be honest. It's like because there's that fear that you're going to hurt the person's feelings, or you're not, or you're going to get some consequences on yourself. You might be getting in trouble or something. So just a little lie here and there.
Well, so here's the thing, man. My parents were very different. I had really good parents. My parents weren't necessarily strict, but they were hella firm, man. And the one thing my pops always told me, man, if you whatever you do, tell me the truth. That way, whether regardless if it's good or bad, tell me the truth, and then I can help you with it. But if you start lying and bullshitting me, then I can't rock with you. And so that's my thing, just the life lessons. Same thing that, we pass on to the next generation. Be truthful, especially as a man. You can't call yourself a man and you can't look somebody in the eye and tell them what it is. And it may hurt their feelings for the moment, but I'd rather you hurt my feelings, but it be done in the spirit of truth than you sitting there coddling me, and it be a big bunch of a whole lie. I work with youth. One thing I appreciate about children, they'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
Man, your breath stink, Mister Nut.
yeah,
Oh man, hold on, you need a mint.
yeah.
Oh man, whatever. But I rather that than adults that smile at you, be in your face, and then they won't talk to you, but they'll talk about you.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that about the youth. I was just reading this book online, the same topic, where the guy was talking about how he had a friend who was having an argument with his wife about a guest who was coming over. And he didn't want the guest to come over, but his wife was adamant about it. So he eventually said, okay, that's fine. You can bring him. But his daughter had overheard this conversation. So the guest comes over and he tries to put on a smile while greeting them. And he says, oh, it's great to have you over. And his daughter calls him out on it right in front of the guest. And, it becomes an awkward conversation where he's trying to divert the attention of his daughter and trying to explain it to this guest. And yeah, it's kids are very honest, but then we grow out of it.
I think part of it has to do with the consequences, but I also think the rewards and consequences and accountability. Again, my parents, I have different kind of parents, much harsher on me when I lied versus when I told the truth.
So we need more of that. We need more appreciation for the value of truth, right? Because I think a lot of the times like nobody is taught this. We don't teach this in school. It's something that we figure out by dealing with other people, where we lie to them and they feel good, but then something might happen in the future where they realize we lied to them and we lost their trust.
You lose your friend.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so one
yeah.
thing I learned, man, integrity is doing the right thing when you think ain't nobody watching. And character and courage is not being afraid. It's doing the right thing, facing the challenge, even though you are afraid. And so part of I think that whole notion of dealing with the lie or whatever it is, because sometimes we get caught in shame.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed that this happened, or I'm ashamed that I did that. But when you're honest, there's a certain freedom that comes with that. It's like my granddaddy used to tell me, and man, the older I've gotten, and my grandfather from the country, ain't from California, but there's a reward you get for living a good, clean life. You live a good, clean life. So certain things, you ain't got to worry about it because I ain't doing shit because I live a good, clean life. I ain't got to worry about no woman coming talk about no kids or nothing I did wrong. No, because I live a good, clean life. I go home to my wife. And so those are the things. It's not just the consequences, but there's the overarching long-term benefit of living a life of integrity, of being a man of character.
And those are harder to recognize. I think that's why a lot of people don't realize that until they get older. It's like we start with the and myself included. Like the reason why this topic was interesting to me is because for me the hardest part is those lies that has to do with shame or the consequences on myself, right? It's like if I told this white lie, I could get away with it, and like what's the big deal? They might never find out, and yeah, those it's easier for me to justify, but I feel like it's still not the right thing to do, and
You know, that's character. That's you. And so here's the thing about human beings. We all know right from wrong. Like we know. But it's like we have the devil on one shoulder and the angel on one shoulder. And the one you listen to, the one you feed, that's the one that gets bigger. And so if you can tell you to tell those lies and you feel like you're getting away with it, the devil get bigger and bigger and bigger. But the whole thing about the devil, when he drops the cards up from up under you totally screwed. Opposed to when I was listening to the angel, it didn't feel good at first, but it was way better. It was way better over the long term. And so I've learned, man, that there's a benefit of living an honest life. Even when dealing with women or whatever, man.
yeah.
Particularly dealing with women, man. That women respect you way more when you honest. Man, even if it's like, look, man, I'm not trying to be in a committed relationship. I'm committed to not being committed. They will respect you way more than if you, oh, baby, I love you, and I'm just trying to get in your drawers. No, if you'd have been up front, shit, you might have wanted the same thing you wanted, but you was lying. And so it's the whole notion of men fall in love with what they see, women fall in love with what they hear. Well, my thing is what I've learned, man, I'd rather just be the truth.
Yeah.
If baby is the truth, if she fine and she got integrity, that's the one. It ain't the one that's the fugazi that look good on Instagram but has shitty character, that's hitting licks and doing and robbing and all the rest of that. I want the woman with integrity and character that go to work every day, that lives a life of integrity, that her husband can trust in her, her children can trust in her, and they call her blessed when they get older. That's the type of life I want, bro.
I really appreciate you. I'm definitely gonna steal that analogy, the devil and the angel on the shoulder, because I think that is a really good way to capture what the like the bad side of lying is. A lot of the times we don't realize that a white lie, you might think that it's gone away, right? Like
Who said it was
you
a
got
white
away.
lie? Why do
Yeah.
we want to color our lies? A lie is a lie, and the truth is what the truth is.
Yeah.
So one of the best analogies I ever heard about the truth is like a lion. Uncage it and it'll do it. It'll can defend itself. You ain't got to defend no lion. A lion will defend itself. That's the same way the truth does. But man, lies, you start lying, then you got to cover it up. You got to tell more lies on top of those lies, on top of those lies. It's like, man, just keep it real.
I appreciate you, sir. What do you think about lying? Is there ever a good time to lie, or is it something that we should never do?
I think in most general situations, it's just better to tell the truth. It's harder to be a good person than it is a bad person. It's easier to lie and manipulate things than it is to like be a man and just be honest the whole time. But I always just try to just be straightforward with everybody. It's easier to just tell the truth than to tell a lie and try to remember it.
I think it depends. Sometimes it's better to hide something because hiding something, it could still be a lie. But sometimes, like, let's say I have cancer and I don't want you to worry about me. I'm not gonna tell you until I'm like on my deathbed. You know what I mean? But
What if that would build a
It
stronger?
also depends because the truth always usually comes out. It's better to tell the truth up front so that it doesn't come out another way. But sometimes it's better to hide something for a little bit or to your grave.
So like if someone
Lying is wrong, but sometimes it's more beneficial to somebody else's emotions than your own.
But how can you tell? Like if you think that it's going to benefit the person by not telling the person, how can you tell that that's actually what's going to happen? Like there might be situations where you tell them and you might actually have a better relationship with them. So maybe is it possible that maybe you're assuming something that might not happen?
Yes, true, because a lot of assumptions don't even happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think like sometimes it's better to hide something or like not tell the truth, and then like let's say, let me think of an example. Hold on.
The classic one is like if a woman asks you that, how do I look? Do you give her
Oh no, you always tell women what they want to hear and how they want to hear. You can't tell your girl. Otherwise, you're gonna get questioned and be like, "You really don't?" No, just no. No.
I agree with that too. I mean, girl, if she asks how you, not only are, I mean, it's lying in a sense, but you're also building confidence. You
Yeah.
know,
So-
they want to hear they want to hear they look good. You tell them they look good, it makes them feel better about themselves. And I
Yeah,
think that
yeah,
the
yeah.
trust would only be lost if she found out that you were lying. If you tell her that you
Yeah,
think she
everybody
looks
has an
good,
Is it
opinion.
worth
Every
it?
Yeah.
guy
Is
has
it
an
worth
opinion.
it?
What if
Yeah,
I like
but-
it?
Worth the risk?
but I mean, if she's not gonna, how is she gonna find out that I don't think she does look good? You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, but like you said, if you
Yeah.
tell her that she doesn't look good, she's obviously gonna trust you more next time when
Yeah,
she
yeah.
asks you and you do say yes because you told her no last
Yeah.
time. There is a little bit of risk with white lies, and that's how I was saying earlier. It's harder to tell a lie and sometimes keep track of it. You know, that's why it's a little easier to tell the truth because you never know how the truth is gonna come out,
Yeah.
and it could come out by you forgetting you lied to someone, or it could come out because someone else knows the truth. So that's why I always think it's easier, or at least better, to tell the truth. Not always easier, but it could be better.
If a woman asks you if she looks good, what would you, and you didn't think she looked good, would you tell her that, or would you tell her what she wanted to hear?
I'll tell her the truth, you know?
You tell her the truth, even if she'll feel bad about it?
Yeah, I'll tell her the truth. It's always good to be honest, you know? So,
How do you go about setting your concerns that you're going to hurt her feelings aside and tell her the truth? Because I think for most people, that's a hard thing.
the truth is going to come out, you know? And then what's the point to that? It's going to either go worse or
Yeah.
you're going to hurt the person even, you're going to feel more, you know, hurt because you're messing with that person's mind, you know? So that's my thought. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Our best advice is just to just be honest at that point, you know? And then from there, it's up to that person who wants to stay or leave, you know?
A lot of people would just tell the person what they want to hear and make the person feel good in the moment, even though it might hurt the person in the long run.
Karma's going to come back to you either way. Either you did good or bad, you know? So it's better off to just do good at the beginning so you get blessings, you know? Bless those and bless others. That's my opinion.
So even the small lies that you think will not come back will still come back and haunt you. I appreciate you, brother.